So the Boston Celtics keep showing up. Sometimes it comes down to that. Yes, you need crazy talent like Kyrie Irving has, and heart like Jaylen Brown clearly has, and a little luck with the whistle. But none of that would have made the difference in last night's win over the Warriors if the Celtics didn't first show up, which is what they have been doing since the beginning of the season, over and over. Gordon Hayward goes down. The Celtics licked their wounds and then decided that despite an entire league declaring their season over, they'd just show up anyway and, see what happens. Al Horford gets a concussion. Yep, that is rough. But the games are still scheduled. Might as well still keep showing up. Kyrie breaks his face. And it's November, and no one would have blamed him if he took a couple weeks off, but instead, he decided to keep showing up because, hey, he can shoot a bit and the team could use him. And when that is the attitude you've been playing with through this young season, it infects everything you do. It seeps out of you like sweat.
Ew.
So when you fall behind to the mighty Golden State Warriors by 17 points, not just once, but twice in the same game, you just keep playing. Even if you're Jason Tatum, who quite frankly had Kevin Durant looking at him the way one Monday looking at an appetizer at a steakhouse. But hey, the rookie kept showing up, even when he was getting abused, until suddenly he wasn't. As for Jaylen Brown, well, he didn't even think he was going to play this game after one of his closest friends died the night before. But this is the team where you show up. So somehow, Brown got his body to the arena and then got himself from the locker room to the court, chipping in 22 points, 7 rebounds, and just tenacious defense in 34 hard minutes. At the end, Boston would need all of it, plus some timely play from Horford, plus some fearlessness from Kyrie, who ditched his mask so he could see better, even after the team doctor told him he could do more damage to his face. They'd need the kind of physical defense the Warriors really don't like. The kind of defense that is about showing up. Now, after the game, Steph Curry said it was, quote, very, very likely these teams would meet in the finals. And you can decide for yourself how much sarcasm that comment was laced with. I am certainly not going to sit here and pretend I can predict the future. Well, that outfit does look good on me. But I do know this. The Celtics are going to keep showing up. And if you can do that, anything can happen. So, Tracy, I mentioned Steph's comment. You could see him there. He was smiling a little bit when he said it was very likely the teams would be in the finals. He did note Cleveland has done it the last 3 years. But he said the weather's nice in Boston in June. Do you think he has shown a little confidence in the Celtics?
Well, we all should show some confidence in the Celtics. This is what I wanted to see out of this team. When we were talking about them the day before of what really will come out of this game and what I wanted to see, I wanted to see them defend like this. Holding this team under 95 to 100 points, what they're accustomed to. No one expected that, right? And shorthanded, not having one of their best players in Gordon Hayward out. This team is built for 5-6 years of winning like this. I mean, they're not going anywhere. They compete, they're long, they're athletic. The one thing I love about them, if it's not going right on the offensive end, they always fall back on their defense, which they play extremely well.
Yeah, no, obviously defense is that lunch pail that you bring every day, and sometimes work isn't great, but you still got a sandwich in the lunch pail, and that's what they did. We talked about it the last couple of days. The Celtics are number 1 in the league in terms of limiting the quality of shot that you get. This is quantified as according to Second Spectrum. But the Warriors also helped them a little. They helped them a little in that they missed shots they should have been making.
They missed so many uncontested
shots. A lot of shots.
So Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, I believe, were 3 for 10 on completely uncontested shots.
You know how
that's unusual.
Yes, but when you have great defense played on you, and then when you get those wide open shots,
it's almost worse than.
Do you feel ghosts? Is that it?
You feel a little bit because the pressure is on you continuously, and then when you feel wide open, you're shocked a little bit.
Right. And that's true, but also it's still.
I know they're great shooters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a part of it where I know Brad Stevens sitting there and saying, "Great win, guys. We dodged some bullets tonight. We definitely dodged some bullets." But yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from their defense because again, this isn't like if the Cavs did it.
Right.
This is the number 1 defense in the league, so you get to have that benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to also talk specifically about the foul that came in the final seconds. The one that led to Kyrie's game-winning free throws. Draymond was the one that draws the whistle here as Irving drives to the basket. I don't know how happy he was. Here's what Dre and head coach Steve Kerr had to say about that after the game. Take a listen.
He got to the free throw line a lot. That was it. He didn't make no shots. He got to the free throw line. Whether there's fouls or not is a whole nother discussion.
I just watched the tape. There was no foul. It was tough call.
Thought fouls were coming.
Tracey's like, and that'll be 25 grand for Steve Kerr. I mean, you've looked at the tape. What do you think?
Yeah, I question the call, especially in those closing moments. Like, we don't get these calls
Right.
like this, you know? I mean, he put the onus on the refs, and he was fortunate enough to get the call, but no, I question it. It was not a foul. You don't get these, especially on the defending champs. You get this call? No.
Yeah, it's a play that that's why coaches tell you to drive to the rim, right?
Right,
Because
you never know.
this can happen, right?
It can, but in so many times in my career, earlier in my career,
Oh, yeah.
I was driving, wasn't getting those calls in the later parts of the games,
Right.
and my vest was like, no, you're not going to get those calls. You got to pull up for a jumper.
And they'll tell you, don't depend on the ref to win
Right,
the game for
right,
you,
and-
because it's likely that you won't get the call.
Yeah.
In this case, he did.
The one thing I want to point out, though, and we say this to every team, we say it to the bad teams, we say it to the mediocre teams, we can say it to the best team in the league. You don't get to complain about calls when you blow a 17-point lead.
Well, that's what twice. And that's what I was going to say,
That
is
is-
that it should never come down to
Right.
this. It should never be this should never be the discussion.
Was that call questionable? Absolutely. But why are we in a
Right.
situation where that can even happen?
Yeah.
Right. And maybe that's a little Novemberitis
Yeah.
for the Golden State. I don't know.